President Trump threatening North Korea after U.S. intelligence says that that rogue nation has made a big advancement when it comes to its nuclear program. Tensions with North Korea increasing exponentially. It's been confirmed that a Washington Post report saying North Korea has successfully cleared one of the biggest hurdles towards becoming a nuclear power. U.S. intelligence sources revealing Pyongyang has miniaturized a nuclear warhead that can fit inside its missiles.
They are not suicidal. They know that an attack on the United States will bring the end of their country, and particularly the end of their regime.
But even the capability, a major concern. And President Trump blasting back Tuesday with a warning for North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
The opposite approach suggested by some nuclear policy experts.
So we need to calm down, take a deep breath, realizes that the North is not going to attack us. There's a risk that they will make a mistake, that they will look at the situation in a way that is miscalculation, and that we will stumble into catastrophe.
The new report coming just days after North Korea's latest intercontinental ballistic missile test. The United Nations then unanimously passing crippling sanctions. In return, Kim Jong-un vowing a thousands-fold revenge, leaving the world to wait and see what happens next. All right, that language. Now, listen, no one's going to get, I think, any of the five of us to be defending the folks in Pyongyang here, especially that lunatic. But the point is, he is a lunatic. I don't know what I was expecting, Bill, but I didn't expect that we'd have kind of a parody of a war of words with our president and the leader of the Hermit Kingdom. You know, it caught me off guard. Fire and fury and a power this world has never seen. Did somebody write that?
I mean, that's where the Assemblywoman hit it right on the nose, where there's a time when you need to trust in the office. You have to trust the occupant. If this were Reagan or Bush 41 or Clinton or Bush 43 or Obama, you would assume there was some strategic purpose to that quote. That they were, Tillerson was being the nice guy overseas, and Trump was hitting it hard, and Mathis was doing this. Right. That it would have been considered and thought out. And you just don't know that with this president. It could have been completely knee-jerk. And that's the frightening thing. Reagan I had a friend, a senior person in the Reagan administration, and they used to read the intelligence reports from Moscow, and Moscow was terrified of Reagan. They called him the cowboy. And they played into it. The Americans played into like the reckless cowboy, Reagan's going to nuke us, and they did it for a reason, and they thought about it. In this case, you suspect that there may be no reason whatsoever, just knee-jerk talk by Trump.
And to that point, Andrew, I was thinking this today when I heard it, which is, there is, regardless of what we thought of almost any recent president, and even people can make their comments about Bush 43, but at least, whether you agreed or not, you had people within that administration who, albeit flawed, had a worldview and also intelligence in terms of where they thought things would go. You can't do flyby when it comes to foreign policy, especially when you're talking about nuclear strategy. We have assets. I know everyone here knows it, but just to bear repeating, our allies include obviously the Japanese and the South Koreans. We have troops, thousands and thousands of troops in South Korea right over the DMZ. They are most immediately in harm's way. I just can't remember a time where I heard a president say something and I wondered to myself, did he talk to anybody before he said that?
Yeah, because if you think about it, there are no good next steps following what Trump has said. I mean, Kim Jong-un is not going to be like, oh, you know what, Trump's right. I'm going to give this whole thing up. I mean, that's pie in the sky. That's not going to happen. If Trump said what he said and then does nothing, then he's just given his most bombastic threat with no follow-up. The last time he threatened North Korea, the boat was going in the wrong direction, if you remember. Yes. And so what exactly are our options at this point? Are we going to nuke North Korea? Are we going to firebomb North Korea? Are we going to invade North Korea? I'm not sure any of that is...
But you know what's funny, Assemblywoman, is we actually had a good beginning, which was a 15-0 National Security Council vote. Yeah. to impose really draconian sanctions on them. Now, we'll have to wait and see if China actually follows through. The same thing with Russia. Okay, that said, it was a good first step. But I just think of our global allies saying, we've always trusted the U.S. is taking the lead on this. If they think somebody is threatening to do a show of power like the world has never seen, and if you're Kim Jong-un and you see, hey, remember that guy Gaddafi? He gave up his nuclear weapons program. What exactly happened to him? Where is he now? They're crazy over there, and I don't think the best way to deal with crazy is to double down on crazy.
Well, you're implying it's strategic, and I don't think it's strategic at all, and I think that's the greatest danger for the American people and the world. Like you said, prior presidents, whether you agreed or disagreed, and all of us around this table have lived through other presidents that we disagreed with, but we had a sense someone read material, someone knew something strategically, someone had intelligence and factored it into a decision. The sense I think people take away is, this is just this guy making it up as he goes, and the stakes are so high for our kids that are at risk, who may be over there, and for the rest of the world. I mean, I don't have a sense of security that there is someone there making intelligent decisions, speaking rationally to this president.
Listen, I always assume the other guy knows more.
Not now.
But I will tell you, God's honest truth, I read a few newspapers a day. I have a distinct impression, and I think this goes for everyone at this table, I know more than the commander-in-chief, who doesn't apparently attend his national security briefings, let alone reads anything, that he knows what's going on, and that's the most petrifying feeling, and nobody hopes I'm more wrong than myself with what I just said here. But we've seen no indication that there's any appetite for information or sober thought. And now we're talking about nukes. This isn't talking about what Mueller's doing or ever. Now we're talking about nukes with a crazy guy. Now, I'm talking about Kim Jong-un there. All right.
I just want to say this one quick thing. We're all talking like it's ignorance coming from the White House, and maybe it is. But I also see something else at play. What I see at play is the president knows what his poll numbers are, and he's trying to change the topic. So you talk tough with North Korea, you sound like you're about to go to war, and Americans rally around wartime presidents. That's what I really think is at play here.
I just know this one. Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green, whatever party you are, nobody likes nukes. Nobody likes the idea. Crazy person with nukes, now a couple dozen nukes or more, and now we just threaten the guy. Nobody likes that part, even if you're Rambo.
And
okay?
nobody wants U.S. troops in North Korea.
Exactly.
I mean,
All
we've
right.
been through that.
Coming up next, an immigration battle playing out, and it's not on the Mexican border or any debate about a wall. It's actually right in Westchester County. We'll explain the debate after this.